I started the club in 2005. I couldn't find anywhere that was sort of friendly. I went to a club and all they would talk about is running, and they just shoot off, and there was no discussion about anything else. And I didn't know what minutes per mile meant or all the big races they were talking about, and it wasn't particularly friendly. So I thought it would be nice to run with people who are friendly and make sure that nobody feels left out and people feel welcomed, and make sure that people weren't intimidated, because running's quite easy really. It depends on the level that you want to take it to, and a lot of people were scared. They thought it was something not for them, that they weren't athletic, that they weren't athletes, that they couldn't do a mile run. And once you tear all those little barriers down, it's much more enjoyable for people. Initially I run led because there was nobody else to do it. And as the club became more and more established, other people said, well, I can do this, I can do that. And there was a point where we used to meet outside Chorlton Library, and I remember counting over 70 people there, and at that stage lots of people saying, look, I can do this, I'll lead that, and we had to logistically split people up. And I've been heavily involved ever since really. There was no official LERF or anything, it was just go out and run. And LERF is Leader in Running Fitness, which is a qualification that the athletics bodies recommend that you do if you want to get involved in run leading. And with that knowledge of like stretching and a bit of physiology of how the body works, you can get the confidence to then take people out on runs. But one of the big things is really having enthusiasm, having a good sense of direction always helps, because you can find new routes and assess them, make sure that there's no risks involved. There's no mystery to it, it's just having the confidence to do it.
Could we just get into a circle, please?
And then see if anybody's got any injuries that may hinder their run, make sure they've got no health problems and things like that. You'd briefly describe where you're going to go, and then, you know, every mile or so, stop, check everybody's okay. And when you run lead, you sort of organise, you'll say what pace you're going to do and the distance you're going to do. So everybody's got a clear idea of the kind of things that they'll be doing on the run. So yeah, a good run leader will have enthusiasm, they'll have a good sense of fun, I think. You'll be able to motivate people. You kind of stop every now and again if that's what people want, and you'll be a run leader doesn't mean necessarily that you're at the front, you're just like in charge of the group, so you can have somebody else at the front and you just sort of, you're in the middle or at the back, just making sure that everybody's okay. Another great thing about run leading is that you can ensure that everybody has a really lovely time on that run, that the person doing 6-minute miles at the front is catered for, and the person at the back doing like 30-minute miles feels just as welcomed and just as important, making sure that they're enjoying it and making sure that they've maybe got a target in mind. We do have a step up every month where people can, if they're running at a certain level, they can just go along to the next level of speed. And the LERF gives you plenty of tools to enable you to do that. It builds your confidence, not only in running forms and learning how to do stretches carefully and safely and suitable ones, but also helping you to establish relationships with people. I come up with my routes by just exploring really, often on a bike, and just being inquisitive, thinking, okay, I wonder what's around this path, I wonder what's around there. Or you're in a car and you think, oh, that looks like an interesting road. Or you could be out walking and think, we're so fortunate around here, we've got the water parks and loads of woods, and it's a lovely way to discover the area and explore it. So just go out and explore and just make sure it's safe and interesting for people. There was a run that we did a few years ago where we looked at, along the canal, we were looking at all the bridges and the industrial side of Manchester. One of our run leaders read that, and it was just, if you're a bit of a history person, it was fascinating, and you're getting a run in and a bit of education, so that was nice. I find it rewarding in the fact that you can see people have got a sense of enjoyment from it, especially if they're new, and they'll come back the following week and you know you've done a good job, and once they come back 2 or 3 or 4 times, it kind of embeds itself in their lifestyle, and then it becomes part of their routine, and that's really enjoyable and rewarding to see. The fact that the club is so popular means that we are doing something right.
Ready?